I thought it was really interesting and fun to subvert the canon of crime thrillers and of mob movies.
Ponyboi follows the titular character, an intersex sex worker who finds himself on the run from the New Jersey mob after a drug deal goes wrong. The film's main creatives talk to us about why it was important to use the crime thriller genre to explore questions around LGBTQ identity in order to reach a larger audience.
I'm River Gallo. I'm the writer, producer, and star of Ponyboi.
And I'm Esteban Arango. I'm the director of Ponyboi.
I wanted to use a mainstream plotline, the mythology of the crime thrillers, in order to almost act like a Trojan horse for these deeper conversations around gender and identity. In a way, I felt like it was a way to get people to eat their vegetables.
Well, we definitely wanted to use the language of crime thrillers as an access point. People go to these movies looking for violence, tension.
But also, I thought it was really interesting and fun to subvert the canon of crime thrillers and of mob movies, because most of them have relationships with New Jersey. And me being from New Jersey, I just felt like it was a way for me to kind of own my own relationship with my own home state. And I wanted it to be fun and accessible and be serious, but also not take itself too seriously. And I thought that was a way to accomplish those things.
Well, I think casting was key. We cast people who, first of all, were very open to creating a family around the filmmaking team, and just those dynamics create an environment where we can all play with the material and find ways to insert this human spirit, and that results in humor most of the time. You know, we call it sad comedy.
A lot of the humor was in the script, and then a lot of the humor was also found in improvising.
We knew that we were telling an important story, but we knew that we wanted to make it fun. So at every turn, I think everyone involved was finding those opportunities.
Dylan's character, for example, who has most of the laughs in the movie, a lot of it is just because he can make literally anything funny. There's a scene where he raps in the movie, and we knew we wanted to make that a funny moment, but I wanted to leave it to the actor to make up the rap, and he actually wrote the rap himself, and it was like, yeah, such a highlight to be able to, as a writer, you know, insert my own dark comedy sensibilities, but then have the actors and Esteban find ways in which, and our editor, Hannah Park, find ways to elevate the humor that was already in the script.
I think what's so special about this project is that you know from the get-go that you're stepping into an intersex story that, you know, it hasn't been done in the cinema, especially starred by and written by an intersex. And so that, as a premise, as the first step into the movie, you're already primed to see something special. But we wanted to capitalize off of the fun elements of going to see a thriller movie. So we were creating a bleak view into New Jersey as well, the tension of the crime world. We created really cinematic soundscapes into it. So like it feels like the movie engrosses you in that world, but then it also gives you the love into a world that you haven't seen before.
I think as a writer, getting very specific into it made it more universal, and making these characters, I think a lot of them feel like you know them. You know Vinny, if you were ever lived in a small town, like, you know that guy who thinks he's larger than life, but he's really a loser. And like, you know Angel, who's just like this kind, ditzy girl, but she will cut you if you cross her. And playing a lot with like the time period as well, making in the early 2000s, I think was a way to kind of allow audiences to feel a little nostalgia for that time, and in that way it became an entry point for them to kind of like put down their defenses and actually be able to absorb some of the messaging more.
We wanted to give Ponyboi an outlook that's optimistic and hopeful, because it's telling a human story about finding healing and building bridges between communities.